Welcome to Comic Station, issue number 62 for March 5th, 2014. And we have a Marvel Now, just titles to go over. So
they're just leaking out of the walls.
They just
they're
don't
everywhere.
Stop. So each of us took one, so we're going to go down the line and go through our Marvel Now titles first.
I have Wolverine and the X-Men #1. This is Wolverine trying to fight some people in a cube, in a prison cube, created by Phantom X. Well, what else is really new? But other than that, we have some new little X-Men running around the mansion, and some minor drama happening with them.
There always is, but
yeah. Called the one kid My Little Brony, and...
Do they ever explain what the cube is about, though?
The cube is a prison, but I didn't really... maybe I missed when they made that, but I don't really know exactly why, other than that they're trying to keep in the bad, or Phantom X, rather, is trying to keep in the bad.
But there's a bunch of good guys in there.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah, there's all these little tiny Nightcrawler bamps running around, so, you know.
While we like Nightcrawler, I kind of preferred the chibi Nightcrawlers.
They were a lot cuter. These ones are a little bit ugly, but
they're
still
really
okay.
weird.
The creepy
She likes it.
little itty bitty Nightcrawlers. Not chibi Nightcrawlers,
like
little
just
tiny.
scaled down.
Oh.
I love it. They got suits on. It's crazy. You gotta see it.
So, not as much fun, but this one is Magneto #1, Marvel Now, obviously. And this is a older Eric. He has gone through his past, and you basically get the idea that he's grown older, he's weary, his powers maybe not be as strong, but he is still trying to do the good fight as far as he's concerned. And he is under the radar, he's being hunted, so while he's trying to keep a low profile, he's still trying to do his revenge thing against people that are hurting mutants. And that's all you get. Really just get Magneto. There's a little bit of background of what he's doing, and I just left reading this just kind of okay. I'm not quite sure what this is all leading up to. So
I dig the cover on it, definitely.
The cover is cool.
Like a nice, interesting.
I kind of wish I had the one cover that they had. It had Magneto like as a kid with a bunch of spoons around his cereal bowl bent into the. That would have been cooler. But yeah, overall, just kind of okay. Some potential, but also a lot of potential to not be good. So.
Alright, I called Moon Knight walking in the door, saw it as I was coming in. Pretty excited about this title, getting the chance to read the #1. Yes. I haven't read any Moon Knight in a little while, and I definitely found it was like putting on a really comfortable pair of jeans. It was written really well for Moon Knight. It was
Warren Ellis, so
yeah,
you know, that's his
jam.
Yeah.
Yesterday and tomorrow, but it was nice. It was really wonderful. I felt it, true to the character, but for a brand new reader, as a #1, it introduced the character in a way that was easy for anybody to understand, and really showed you like what Moon Knight was all about. Made it very plain, started an interesting story going, and managed to squish it all into a #1 without it being overwhelming either. So I thought it was really well rounded.
Well, that's good, especially considering most people probably don't know who Moon Knight is, which is a shame.
They should.
He's cool.
He is cool.
Extra bonus, Marvel Heroes, the MMO that I play that has all the Marvel characters, they just introduced Moon Knight as well.
Ooh.
So perfect timing. I wonder if they work something out on that.
I have Tales of Honor #1 from Image Comics.
That looks...
it looks very, very much like Mass Effect. And
Halo and all the other space marines.
It's like a painted CGI game, though. The art... Painted CGI game. It's okay. It's tolerable, but if you don't like that, you're not going to want to look at this. It's kind of long. It's a little bit drawn out, giving you the initial story of what they're going to be doing with it.
What conflict or who's fighting who? Because there's always...
there is a war going on, and currently the main chick, she's on a prison ship, heading off to prison to be executed, and
you got two prison stories.
She's she's going to give you the backgrounds of what's been happening with this war situation, and probably going to lead up to something interesting, I hope.
Probably, hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully, maybe. Some sort of general type of game type storyline.
You're really trying with this.
I expect. So, should be good. You know.
Maybe not so much better. This is Rogue Trooper from IDW, and it's a war trooper, genetically modified, as you maybe can tell from the blue skin. Basically, the most interesting thing about this is that some of his dead brothers are chips. I guess they take some of your chips so that if you ever die or something,
or you're hungry and you want a snack.
Oh, yeah. Well,
sorry.
I'm hungry. Sour cream and onion. And so the chips from his dead brothers, he put them on his different parts of his uniform, so his machine gun, his helmet, his backpack. So they all actually talk, they all have a purpose. So that was probably the most interesting thing to it. Otherwise, it's fairly stereotypical. He thinks he was betrayed, he's trying to find out who betrayed him. Genetically modified warrior on a planet that could kill you. It's, I don't know. It sounds, on paper, sounds pretty cool, but at the same time, reading it just sounded generic. So.
And last but certainly not least of the worst.
Not least of the worst.
Probably the most worst is Evil Empire. This, I'm a very agreeable human being, and I can find the good in just about anything. This was really bad. I rarely say that about something, but this is a story of a dystopia 25 years from now. There's politicians, and
there usually is politicians when it's dystopian.
Yeah. It's interacting with this, like, rock chick and, you know, MTV, and maybe my 12-year-old self would have thought this was cool, but it's so wordy through the whole thing.
And angsty, punky.
But it's not, like, it's angsty and punky in a contrived way, like if your mom was interpreting what angsty and punky she thought that was. It just was unappealing to me on so many levels. The art wasn't bad, it wasn't good. It was better than the writing, which was pretty much just atrocious.
Okay. Speaking of the art, that was...
We don't have others.
We want to bring this up. Bring it up real quick.
Get your She-Hulk number 2.
We like She-Hulk.
We love She-Hulk.
I liked the first issue.
And I loved the second issue. I just really don't like the art.
We're trying to get past the art because we love
She-Hulk.
So
good story.
So much.
I really like the first one.
And
the second one's good.
Yep, Hellcat is now working with She-Hulk.
And I love Hellcat.
Secret spoiler, they go out and get drunk and fight at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Which I really enjoyed about this issue. But yeah, other than artwork, again, get your She-Hulk number 2. It is written so funny. I laughed. I had a great time reading it.
Awesome. Yes, I wanted to force you to tell everyone to read She-Hulk. So, as you can see, instead of our...
We're wondering what these things are.
Yes. We were just looking around for what was cool in the area, and instead of a statue or anything, we thought these were pretty cool. These are... This is peanut butter containers from the 80s, 81 and 87. You can tell the difference because this is tin and this is plastic. The lids, anyways. And, of course, you get Superman milk. I love this. It's the preferred drink of superheroes everywhere. And it's from Kent Dairies.
Drink.
So...
I can see you drinking milk out of that.
I would.
This would be awesome to put milk in this and then just be sitting here with the...
I would need to drink all of the milk out of that.
She would too.
Yeah.
But I love these little pieces of nostalgia. Just when you see anywhere, anything that's, you know, older, like 10 years and older, when you just go back and you pick that up and you find these, just because these things, they happened and then they were gone, and they were a blink in time, and it wasn't something that was meant to necessarily be a collectible. So when you find them, it's kind of rare. Sometimes you find things like these at a garage sale, or, you know, people don't necessarily put any weight to them.
Yeah,
or you might find them here at the comic station. They are available for purchase.
Yep.
Please come in and buy them. But they're awesome, and I just wanted to give them a nod because I like to collect kooky things like this along with action figures and comics and everything
Kooky
else.
stuff is always the best because they're great conversation starters. Like, oh yeah, you have a statue of Batman, you have a statue of this. What's the peanut butter? But I also like the fact that in some of these older things, you could just tell like they were made to last. So instead of some of the more plastic stuff that we have today. So we thought they were cool. We wanted to share them with you.
Yeah.
And next we have our reviews from Lido, and he did his video reviews, so let him roll.
Starlight is the new comic from Image by Mark Millar. It marks his first digital same-day release, and according to Wikipedia, is also going to be turned into a movie somewhere down the line. I'm personally mixed on Millar at the best of times, and while Starlight doesn't have the same kind of controversy or extreme violence you find in his other works, it does have the jaded cynicism that often sours me to them. The basic pitch is Buzz Lightyear by way of Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven, in that we're following an aging space hero, Flash Gordon style, who in his youth went to an alien world and saved it, but then returned to live out the rest of his days with his lovely wife Joanne, who has just died at the beginning of the issue. The problem is that our space hero, Duke McQueen, is afforded no real character beyond being tragically over the hill. It's often shown that his best years are behind him, although those best years are usually just shots at the planet, and though he's very sad through narration about the death of his wife and an opening funeral scene, a lot of his other scenes just leave him looking blank and despondent through the artwork, and we're left to be implied, through intercutting and his blank stare with us emoting emotion over top of it, that he is sad and regretful over his lost time. There are some scenes of him looking at old newspaper clippings as well, which he has a lot of about his disgrace for some reason, but I don't think that it really does a great job making a character who we feel sad for as much as a character we are aware has sadness, or more accurately, are projecting sadness onto based on intercutting. It's a tragedy through implication instead of a tragedy through character. It's not that we feel bad for McQueen per se, because we like him or because we don't want bad things to happen to him. We feel bad for McQueen because we think he feels bad because of what the comic is implying to us, not because we actually know through artwork or through character dialogue. Aside from that, the rest of the issue is a little empty, and as I mentioned earlier, it feels very sour and off-putting, and more than a bit mean-spirited to its main character. I understand this is probably the point, trying to get him to some kind of grandiose comeback later on and to explain his actions, but I don't know, I just kind of left cold to it. I don't really like the sort of angrier things you get like this. Even angry is a bit too firm, as there's not really that much passion behind it. It just feels needlessly cruel. Check out my review if you want to know more. Veil is the new series by Greg Rucka that comes to us by way of Dark Horse Comics. Overall, I think it's a good first issue, though on some shaky narrative ground so far. Its story is that of Veil, the main character, who awakens naked in the subway station, by means of rats or possibly supernatural aliens, to wander the red light district until she's found by some helpful passerbys. The problem here so far is that Veil doesn't have much of a character to begin with. She's very much a blank slate, although that is part of the story's focus in the mystery around her, and the strange things she does and can later do. I like the mystery, it helps draw you in, but the mystery is the only strong point the book really has. The rest can feel a little bit uninvolving and bland. You've seen this plot before if you've seen any Terminator film, and most of the issue doesn't see a real story direction, if a focus. We know who it's going to be about and probably what the story will explore, but we don't really know when it's going to get there or how soon we'll be moving towards it. It definitely felt a little bit like we were dragging our feet with this first issue. But on the plus side, it had some really great artwork with some great color work that really pops, with each of the different scenes looking very nicely shaded overall. As I said, this is not a perfect first issue, and is only very narrowly scraping into the area of getting a recommendation from me. Check out my review if you want to see more.
Thank you, Lido, for the reviews, and thank you for watching Comic Station, issue number 62. And don't forget to drink your milk and have a fantastic week.
Thank you. See you next time.